Yes, and welcome, guys, to the channel. What on earth did we just witness? Yeah, we're through, but my dear, oh dear, Tottenham Hotspur beat Tamworth 3-0. And as a headline, as a statement, that sounds regular. Big team comfortably beats a minnow. No disrespect to Tamworth. That's not what happened. Tottenham limped over and look, let's be fair, if it wasn't for being a Premier League side and having the facilities and the quality that we have in added time, we should have gone out today. We should have gone out, and I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. What on earth was that? That 90 minutes was disgraceful. And yeah, I don't care. Emergency meeting. Ange has to go. That's unbelievable what I witnessed. That was shocking. Big up, Ash. Dramatic. I mean, let's be fair. To be 0-0 against a team like Tamworth after 90 minutes, embarrassing. As my mate Scott M says, big up Scott M. It was embarrassing. What on God's name was that? Yeah, you'll have the ones that will go, oh, well, we got to we're through. That's all that matters. We shouldn't have taken it to extra time. Ange Postecoglou. What? I mean, firstly, by the way, the players had to take a lot of accountability for me. A lot of accountability. We have a lot of prima donnas at this football club. A lot of them. And it's very, very easy for, these are the Premier League players. Great. Well, it was almost like they didn't even care today, right? Didn't even care. Not good enough for me. Unacceptable. Big up Scott M, by the way. Hope you're well. Anne should have been sacked, but after that, his cultists will act like though going through was impressive. The stand, Scott, there'll be no excuses for this. There'll be no excuses for this guy for the reasons why we got nearly knocked out. By the way, I say nearly. We should have got knocked out. I mean, they should have scored in the 90th minute. What are we doing here? It was an absolute great block and a save of them from Kinski. Wow. And if you want to come on, the link is pinned. Have your say. Am I going over the top? Big up Scott Colliver. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope you're doing well. And just made Spursy more Spursy. Big up Daryl Denton. Bang on. Big up Jonas C. Big up Ange out. Yeah, he's got... that's mad. It's got bigger than the result now. Tamworth truly... Daryl, if anyone watched me a week ago, who watched me when I said... When we were talking about Tamworth, I want to say it was on Football Heritage with Savile. When I was on with Savile, and we were talking about Tamworth. And I was saying, we'll give Tamworth opportunities. And we did. We didn't just give some opportunities. Tamworth deserved to score today. Credit to them, by the way. We can talk about Tottenham, but credit to Tamworth today. I thought they were brilliant. They just showed what proper football was all about for me. Jonas, the excuses. Patters, I know you're on the wind up, my friend, but come on. Even you know that was shit. You were messaging me. I know what you were saying. How crap it was. Big up Matty. How you doing, my friend? Big up to Matty. Top guy. Keep him one. By the way, how did Timo Werner, Brennan Johnson, and Pedro Porro play 90 minutes? How on earth, or whatever long, I think Werner came off, did he? But how on earth did these lot play that long? Porro, for me, was the worst player on the pitch. Pedro Porro was an absolute shambles today. Excuses, he's tired and all his bollocks. Nah, he was awful today, Porro. That left winger, is it Aduru? I think his name was Adoru or whatever his name is. Mate, that left winger absolutely exposed him. It wasn't a good point. Eamon, we're through, but sorry, but there is no excuses on my part, man. I don't understand how Mikey Moore came on. The one question I'll ask, how did Alfie Dorrington not get a minute on the pitch today? How? What does this kid have to do to play a game of football? It's ridiculous. Why Arsenal playing? What? I haven't got it on. I'm trying to find. I'm trying to put it on. I think they do it. They always do it in the first. In the third round, it's like a tradition now. They're doing it for no knives. If I'm right in saying, it's like for charity. If I'm right in saying, like it's basically to stop knife. I want to say knife crime or something like that. I've just flicked on. Oh, it's half an hour into the game. I didn't even realise. God, that's how poor it's been. We won 3-0. I'll behave. Come on, you know why. Mate, Jones, I thought it was unacceptable for me. Absolutely unacceptable performance. The manager and the players have got head in shame. And how can you defend? How can you defend it? Oh, mate, Tony, he's awful. He's awful. Pedro Porro was, one, he shouldn't have played. Two, I thought he was absolutely shambolic for me. Oh, okay, yeah. Mate, it was disgraceful, man. Oh, George, I can't. And I know you're gonna send me stuff. I can't listen to this guy. What's his excuse going to be? Oh, the pitch wasn't a real one. We play on that in Hotspur Way. What has happened to Tottenham, man? What has happened to this football club? Like, it's a disgrace. And as I said to you, let's be fair with it. Let's be fair with it. Tamworth probably should have nicked it in the death. Nicked it. Ali McCoy said there was ways of going out, mate. Honestly, how long into a game did he have to go? Do we have to go? Do you know what? This ain't going to work. Change it up a bit. Shuffle it about. For me, I'm sick and tired. By the way, sick and tired of the excuses for this manager. This manager gets excuse after excuse after excuse from every one of them. I would like some of the one that sit there and back this manager, sit there and defend this manager and go, do you know what? Today, I don't want him gone, but today wasn't acceptable. That's what I don't want people to sit there and change their opinion all of a sudden and go, oh, well, because of this. Come out and say that was unacceptable. As a professional football player, that is unacceptable. And when I say professional football player, they were non-league, semi-pro. Some of them were plumbers. I mean, who saw Hayden Hollis do that skill? By the way, it was absolutely mad. And now we're going to be brought on to my favourite Canadian. Big up Brian Daigle. I'm joking. It's not Brian Daigle. It's Scott M. How you doing, man?
Good. I can't compete with Daigle now.
Daigle takes the crown. So. He's my mate. I've known Daigle for years. But mate, Scott, welcome on, man.
Far nicer than
come on. So. Anyone that can sit there and justify that game. Look, yeah, the scoreline says a different story. Yeah, we won 3-0. We should have been winning. We should have been 3-0 up in the first half. Job done, game over. Like, my point is look at the players we're playing against. Again, no disrespect to Tamworth, because I thought credit to them today. But they do you know what's mad though? It's now taken non-league teams to figure us out. Non-league teams are figuring us out. At this point, this isn't even Brighton. This isn't even Ipswich. This is Tamworth figured us out today. Mad.
Yeah, you know what, Percy? You know my feelings about Ange. I'm sure you've heard it. And I think this is honestly the lowest point I can say of the season. I thought 6-3 against Liverpool and singing the manager's name at 5-1 was a low point. But the fact that we have fans coming out saying it's a good result, at all that matters is you get through. Like you said, it's a non-league team, but not just a bad. They're a bad non-league.
But Scott,
they're not doing well.
Do you know what makes me laugh? Right, you can't. I agree on the point of just to get through is the point. But the same people that were saying we were going to put 6 past Tamworth are now sitting there going, oh, but it just matters about getting through. Hang on, you weren't saying that 2 days ago. You were saying that we were going to put 6, 7 past this lot. And now we've limped over the line over extra time and got through. And let's be fair, we've only gone through because their players were absolutely dead at the end of the game. Because as anyone that knows the professional to semi-pro game, semi-professional players don't train. They train once a week normally it's just a park sometimes. And so a lot of these are playing other jobs. So the excuses is absolutely impressive, by the way. It's impressive at this point.
It shouldn't be surprising, but it still somewhat is surprising, right? Like, how am I wrong? I mean, maybe I'm out of touch, but if any other club played that game and they needed extra time, their fans would be fuming. I think even Spurs fan under any other manager.
Yeah.
If this was Poch, Jose,
if that was Arsenal,
Conte,
if that was Arsenal that had taken Tamworth to extra time to beat them, we'd all be taking the absolute wholesale piss out of them. But when it's us, it's, oh, no, it was a good result. Get out. Was it a good result?
It's crazy. Madness. It just shows, again, it shows the state that we're in right now, and it's puzzling to me, to say the least.
Yeah, no, look, big up Rinketti. I think you said you didn't watch the game, so I don't think your feedback on the game.
No,
you didn't really
say something though.
Yeah, jump in, man. What do you want to say?
People blame the pitch and stuff because it's like fake grass. But on
I'm not having that.
Pitches, no. I'm going to say it's not something. It's like a counter argument for it.
Yeah.
On those fake grass thingy, the ball are going way faster than it usually does. And we didn't have slow players. Like, we still have very fast players like Reggie, Porro. I didn't watch the game, but I saw like we still have fast players like Vanna, Brennan Johnson, Moore.
No.
They should be able to run 90 minutes.
By the way, just to give you a bit of an update, Bromley have just scored past Newcastle at St James's Park. So it's Newcastle 1, Bromley 1 at the moment. So I'll keep you updated with all the scores that are going on at the moment around with the FA Cup. But look, we through. So look, the positives on it, we are through. Fortuitous. Let's be fair with it, by the way. If that own goal doesn't happen, how long do we... I thought when that own goal went in, their heads dropped and you felt it was game over then. But I don't think we would have created enough that went, we're going to score it. But look, Scott, I know you did watch the game. I know you were watching it, but what concerns me more is where... Again, the result, as I said, the fact that for me, first, actually, I'll go on this point. We'll talk about Timo Werner. Crap. Johnson, I thought, was awful today. But the one player I thought was the worst player on the pitch was Pedro Porro. I thought he was disgraceful today. People will say that's overselling it, going over the top. That left winger, by the way, had Brennan Johnson. That left winger had Pedro Porro run past for days, man. Did you? I can't remember. I always butcher his name. I want to say it's Enduru.
Onuru, yeah, I was gonna say Onuru.
Onuru. You're right, Onuru. Sorry, Onuru. I thought he had a brilliant game versus Porro, and Porro positionally, I don't know, and I don't know who it is the fault because positionally was all over the place. 1 minute he was at defensive midfield in the centre. I'm going, cover your wide man. Your wide man's just run past you, mate. Like I thought he was terrible today. Personally, I thought there was a lot of them. I thought Basuma was awful. I thought Sarr was poor. What does Sarr really do? I'm asking that question.
That was Kinski.
I thought Kinski, look.
I mean, he didn't have to do anything, really.
He didn't have to do much, really. Let's be fair. Again, as I always say, like, I always put this into it. It feels like I say this about every team. If Tamworth had a better striker, we don't win that game. I'll put it that way. If Tamworth had a better striker that was actually a professional football player and not a semi-pro, they beat us because he had chances today. He had chances, that boy. I thought he had a good game, by the way. Look, for balance, I don't get it. Right, for me, as I said, you can have the balance. I don't even expect people now to sit there and say they want Ange out. I don't care. I don't want him here. You know, I don't. I've made my points on this manager very, very clear. Very, very clear. But what concerns me is I don't even mind if they go, no, I don't want Ange to go, but today was unacceptable. That has to be the opinion, right? That has to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I don't want people to scream and go, I want him out. But you have to be sitting there going, today was unacceptable at any level. It doesn't matter what manager you are, unacceptable.
And unfortunately, that's not what we're getting. And
I think it's madness.
Like you said about
think
Porro,
it's
if I can just
mental.
go, like talking about Porro, I think it's both. I think Porro should be good enough to know that he can go back to those places he are, but if he that he should be the places on the pitch. But Ange has got to make a change. If he's seeing it's not happening, and we can see it's not happening, you have to make a change.
Yeah.
And like Porro probably shouldn't have played that game because he's played way too much.
Yeah.
Right? He's played way too much already this year. So he probably shouldn't have been there, but he is, and he should be good enough, even if he's at 50% to manage this. But when does Ange ever have to? Does he not have to change things if it's not working?
Yeah.
Like, should it be that hard against Tamworth?
Do you know what? Yeah. Jump in. I've got another question. Jump in for now. Go on.
No, I was thinking because even I had time to look at the 11s and stuff before our practice started. But would you guys be happy with the result if we play like Ulusi and all those Will Lancashire and all those young guys instead of the 11 today? If the result ended the same way, but it was all those like Will Lancashire, Bywell, Gray, Dorrington.
I mean, I still think that with those players we should be able to beat Tamworth because they're all better than Tamworth.
Scott, do you know what?
You could say they're developing and getting experience, and you could take that positive. They're getting game time we get to see a little bit about what they're about, and then maybe we can start to make some. Like, we don't have any idea what Dorrington is. I'm sorry, playing at youth football doesn't tell you what kind of a player he is. Playing against Tamworth might not give us that great of an idea, but it gives us something to go off. But no, still, like we should beat. I'm sorry, beating Tamworth.
Scott's right.
It's not good enough just to say we got through. That 3-0 should have been before extra time, and then you can say, look, it wasn't a great performance, but we did what we had to do. As soon as that went to extra time, that performance is embarrassing, and there's no denying that. Whatever happened after extra time, as Perchie said, we're playing against guys that tomorrow have to go. Work, deliver.
Their goalkeeper's a surveyor. Their goalkeeper's a surveyor. One of the lad in midfield's a plumber. What are we doing here? Like, we're a professional football team.
Maybe they are lucky enough and they got a day off tomorrow, but there's guys who have to be up at 6 a.m. tomorrow to drive to their job, to go sell burgers, right? There's somebody I think works in a burger van. I'm not saying this to run that down. This is the reality of who we played against.
Do you know what? Scott's bang on, right? And for me, do you know what concerns me more? When the lineup came up and I went, what does Alfie Dorrington have to do to start a game of football at Tottenham Hotspur? And do you know what? There's two problems for me with it. There's two parts to it. One, he doesn't play, but he then doesn't play in the academy team. So what is the point of him being here? No disrespect to him. I don't know how
he was.
Huh?
No, sorry.
No,
I'm just injured and stuff.
Yeah,
but still,
players get injured. Players come back, right?
Yeah, I know.
If he was that injured, why is he sat on a bench, right? What are we doing here? Look, my point is, if he's on the bench, he should be playing football, right? Should be playing football. My point is, as I always say, players of his age have to play football. You either loan him, play him in the academy, or you give him opportunities like against Tamworth. For me, and the fact is, what makes it even worse, he doesn't even come off the bench. The manager has all these opportunities to bring him on, doesn't. Gets 5 subs. And what makes it even worse? Go on.
If I was him, I would hand a transfer request.
Look to try and get a loan deal, man. What are we doing here? Like, my point is as Scott said about, I actually think what you've got, the problem what you've got is you've got a bunch of players who are tired. I'll accept the tired notion for now. Tired, maybe thinking they're a bit better than them playing here, possibly. I'm not saying that's the case, but you've got players that sit and go, maybe I'm a little bit better than this. Go and give the likes of Will Lancashire, Mikey Moore, Yang. I don't know what happened to him, if he got injured or something, why he wasn't available today. Don't know why he weren't available, but players like that, it doesn't have to be him. It could be anyone. Give players that don't get a lot of game time a chance on the pitch. What's happened here? I look, for me, someone's just got a massive injury for Arsenal, by the way. I've got the game on. It's not Martinelli, it's
Sterling's coming on. I can't see.
Sterling, someone's on the pitch. Like, it don't look good. Does anyone? Yeah, Cam. I'm not saying more. So I'm saying, like, you have an attacking three of players that don't play a lot of football, right? Brennan Johnson plays a lot of football for us, and I thought he was appalling today. By the way, I can't. I'm still trying to see if anyone's watching the game and has it on. So I've got it muted, but the stretches out. It doesn't look good. Who is it?
Number
It's
9,
Gabriel
Jesus.
Jesus. Oh shoot, that didn't look good at all. He tripped over Fernandez. It's not a foul. He tripped over Fernandez, but it looks like he's pulled a muscle or something like that. That didn't look
Fernandes got a
good.
yellow card.
Hmm?
Fernandes got a yellow card.
Yeah, because he
No
threw
way.
his shoe at the ref.
Oh yeah. He didn't get it for the foul. It weren't a foul.
No. Fernandez got
Yeah.
the foul after for whining about the play.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. But look, as we say, we go back to Tottenham, right, in the sense of it, and you sort of go, well, what are we? Oh, that doesn't look good, actually. That looks really bad. Sorry. I just saw the slow-mo, and the slow-mo made it look even worse. But yeah, look, the positives are, we'll divert to the positives for a little bit. As I said, guys, I'm only going to go for an hour. I'm not going for too long. I promised the wife that I would, the missus, not the wife. She's not my wife yet. Let's say that one. Gosh, just saying. She is listening. And but I said to her, I promised her the evening we'll do something. So we'll look up. I said I would go live as an emergency meeting. But yeah, no, look, we are through. So you could argue, does it matter? For me, I think it's do you know what? If that game in isolation was a one-off, I think you can sit there and go, do you know what? It's a one-off. It's happened. We're moving on. The problem is we've seen this a lot this season. A lot. Even the back end of last season. So for me, this result wasn't a one-off. This was coming. We nicked a result against Liverpool. By the way, credit to us. We did win, right? George, do you know what? You're bang on. We didn't trouble the goalkeeper. Their goalkeeper had an absolute comfortable game. I say that he made one good save. That one good save he did make. I want to say it was James Maddison from outside the box in the first half. Makes a very, very good save. Should have made it. Let's be fair. Should have made it. But it was a good save and all. But I think that's the worst part. If, for example, if we had 20 to 30 shots, 15 on target, and the keeper's just had one of those Manuel Neuer days, you go, do you know what? It just happened. But George is right in the chat. George is bang on in the chat. We didn't test them once, really.
Yeah, and you know what? Like you said, it's happened so many times. Against Coventry earlier in the year, where we had to wait till the 8th minute to get the winner. We struggled to score against them in Europa League games, even though we've won against Alkmaar and Karabag and Fenerbahce. Like, we didn't look good. This is the thing. It's not like this is just exactly. If this is the one-off, like, we've been cruising against Liverpool, we got the win, but let's be honest, that was a horrible game. Like, both sides. Liverpool were terrible. It wasn't a good quality game. It was both sides were terrible. And this is exactly like you said. This is a pattern of play for us. And we're going to hear, hey, we got through. Fair enough. But the first time we come against a quality team, we know you can't have a performance like this. You can't, and it won't work. But we'll hear, hey, we're still in all the cups, as though it's some sort of positive. We're here. We're happy we went through. Like, I'm sorry, Cam. We can't just be blindly happy and ignore what actually happened. Ignore what's going on in the bigger picture.
So what I would say, Cam, like, when you say I can't ever knock a win, that's not how life works, right? That's like sitting there going, that's like me beating a toddler in a game of FIFA and me celebrating like I've just won the lottery. What, like, do you know what I mean? I'm trying to make it balanced. Like, there's got, for example, the other day against Liverpool, have every right to celebrate as a fan. Fans have every right. Great result against Liverpool. That is a difference, man. We're playing against a team of non-league players. Like, can't anyone see that?
That's why I've been saying for like months. I'm worried about Elfsborg and Hoffenheim. Especially Hoffenheim with the new manager. He's been playing really, really good football. The new Hoffenheim manager. And Elfsborg, they have been like slaying the other top teams.
But yeah, for me, as I said, it's all about the performance. And big up Mapping, by the way. Big up. You're always in my chat. You're always commenting. I know you try and stir the pot a little bit. I get your game, my friend. But do you still whinge about Coventry game when we're cruising through the fight? We're not in the final yet. One, it's irrelevant. Yeah. Hear me out. Hear me out. We did complain about the Coventry game. Even still, my point is, the relevant point to that is, you don't talk about it if you win the cup. If you win the cup, you don't care, right? We haven't won it. Let's not talk about that we're already into the final. We're not there yet, right? Do you get my point? Whoa. No one's being arrogant or carried away about anything, right? No one is. We've all sat here and went, do you know what? Credit to Tamworth. Every one of us has said credit to Tamworth today because they deserve more credit today. They did brilliant today. But when we talk about arrogancy, what's arrogant? Expecting to beat Tamworth. That's not being arrogant. What are we doing here? I expect... By the way, you could insert any Premier League team. It doesn't have to be Tottenham. You can insert any Premier League team. I expect any Premier League team to be beating a non-league side. That's mental, right, guys?
No, it's just crazy that now we have to say, hey, cup games are hard. It's Tamworth. No disrespect to Tamworth, but let's be honest here. We can't say that we have to just be happy that we make it through from Tamworth. But hey, and again, that's the problem that we have all the time. It's always, hey, if something happens in the future, you won't care. But it never happens in the future. It isn't going to happen in the future. And I want to talk about what's happening now rather than hypothetical maybes in the future. Because we're done. I've heard maybes. Percy, you've heard maybes for 23 years, right? 24, 25 years. We've heard, if this happens, just wait till this happens.
Yeah.
Just wait.
Sorry, Mapping. That is not where we're at. We're a Premier League football side. This is what I don't get, right? We have a performance of absolute shambolic today, a shambolic performance. And that's where we are. Hang on a minute. Didn't we just beat the league leaders about 3 days ago? What are we doing here? George, I agree.
That was Chelsea. Oh, sorry.
No. Go ahead, man.
If that was Chelsea or Arsenal or someone like that, we were laughing.
Of course
we will be laughing.
Oh,
but now because it's us, oh my God, it's Anfield, it's this, it's that.
I just find it silly at this point. Now, as I always say, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? As I said, it's not arrogant to expect to beat Tamworth. It's arrogant to expect us to beat Arsenal in the week, in midweek. That's arrogance. Oh, we should be beating Arsenal. It's not arrogant to expect to beat a non-league side. I bet every single one of their fans expected us to win as well. Do you know what I mean? What are we doing here? I'm sorry. I'm wound up to the point where the excuses are just draining me now. Look, credit to get through over the line, I guess. But I expect that, right? Look, guys in the chat, if anyone wants to jump on, by the way, the link is pinned. If you want to come and join these two on the panel as well, you're more than welcome. We can never expect what you're getting from Spurs. But Mapping, isn't that an absolute damning indictment of sacking the manager? Do you know what I mean? Under Pochettino, I use Pochettino. I expected us to beat teams under Pochettino. And there was difference from arrogance to... there was difference between arrogance and being realistic. Pochettino is one of the only managers at the club where I went to most games when we're in our pomp, when I expect us to go to Man City and beat them. I expect us to go to Old Trafford and beat them. I expect to go to these teams where we don't usually win and get results. We can never predict what you'll get. Yeah, Mbappe, but isn't that a damning indictment? Oh, by the way, Leo, ruined my bet. I'm fuming. My 20-fold accumulator was ruined because of Tottenham fucking Hotspur. Tottenham Hotspur have ruined my 20-fold accumulator. Oh, don't. I'm raging by that one, by the way. I blame Leo for reminding me. I forgot about it. It was £1 bet. I can't really complain. It was £1. But Nicola, Barnett scored 7 against Tamworth. 7. but Tottenham couldn't manage a goal in 90 minutes. This, if anything was a comment, let that sink in. Guys, go for it. Anyone.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just keep having to go back to the same things. It's fine. The idea that this isn't like a tough cup matchup where we played a team from the championship and that team sat back and it was tough to break through and we were kind of unlucky. This is one of the worst possible teams we could have played.
Yep.
And we didn't look good. We didn't look good.
Scott. It was the worst team left in the tournament.
Well, I mean,
it was the worst team left in the tournament.
Like I keep coming back. Like they are. I'm sorry, they're bad in their own league, which is weak. And it's not, again, like you said, the goalie didn't make a bunch of brilliant saves. They didn't clear the ball off the line 6 times. Their defenders weren't making hero plays. We looked bad. We looked like we could not break them down. That wasn't because they were playing. I mean, they played as well as they probably could, credit to them, but they weren't like superheroes out there. They were just playing football. They were just playing football, making plays, and we had nobody on the pitch apart from sometimes James Madison, who looked like they could break them down. And it took us going to 100+ minutes and these guys just finally tiring out before we could do anything. And that's what's scary. That is so scary that we could not, and not with a team of nothing. Like we had a lot of our top players, top choice players out there, and we looked clueless. And that's
I thought we were absolutely atrocious today. Big up Alfie. I'm fed up with this manager now. Most of these players are youth players. Must have thought we could have done a better job on the pitch. Bang on. How are we meant to ever like go, do you know what? You're good enough. If you don't get an opportunity against a non-league side, what are we meant to do here, right? Big up mapping. Look at Newcastle. They conceded against a League 2 side. Yeah, and if they get beaten by Bromley, or that goes to extra time, then I'll have the same mindset. They should not be beating. They should not be losing to Bromley, right? I agree. But do you see my point? Yeah, no, Cam, I agree. Never bet on him. Say Leo, I agree. I should have known better as well. All Arsenal players getting injured. Don't get into this. They're still going to beat us. Let's be fair. Come on. Do you put this down to the manager today or the players? I think, look, I'm not going to sit there and blame it all on the manager. I think the team selection was wrong. Whether or not I think the manager should have played more academy players, rested players, and thought about playing Arsenal on Wednesday. That should have been the priority. For me, and I do though blame also tactically. I thought he got it. The one thing what I don't like about this manager, and look, I'll get you boys into it. I look at their manager in the Tamworth dugout, yelling at his players, keeping them motivated. Come on, boys. Look, every 10 minutes. Come on. That's 10 more minutes we've got through it. All the way up to getting him into extra time. Ange does nothing on the touchline. You visibly see the other managers always, come on, boys, wake up here. Let's get on with it. I never see anything from him. Do you know what I mean? Does anyone not find that really unnerving from your manager? Especially when it's not going right. I get it. If you're winning, sit back, hang tight. We're not winning the game at the moment against the team we should be.
Yeah, I don't see much. Again, like this is even, in a game like this, I would have thought do something like pull Timo Wiener off and put on Lancashire and be loud and be like, this isn't good enough. Like something to kind of shake them up. And there was nothing of that nature. Like you could see out there when you say, who do you blame it? I blame it on both. It's both the players and the manager here. And as much as I don't like Ange, I might lean more towards, I think for this individual game, I put more of the blame on the players. Yeah. You should be good enough to beat these guys.
I agree.
But if I'm looking overall, I put a lot of it on Ange in the sense that we still have no clue how to beat teams like this. And that's why when Mappin complains that we're talking about Coventry, I talk about Coventry because this is something we've seen under Ange lots. We've seen these kind of performances. And so I would say overall, I think it does look poor on Ange, but today for the individual game, it's more on the players. You should be able to beat these guys without your manager having to do too much. You're better players than them.
Yeah.
This is a case of you showing up, doing what you've done your whole life, and you can win. But the
I
fact
agree.
that they're doing that and Ange isn't doing anything to change it is concerning. And I started to go back to something we talked about a while ago. 0-0. Timo Werner is arguably the worst player out there. He's not a striker, playing out of position, and Will Lancashire can't get on. Why did we keep him here? Why is Will Lancashire not in League One scoring 20 to 30 goals this season?
Exactly. He
can't even get on.
I agree.
If you can't get on 0-0 against Tamworth as the only striker in the whole team, why do we keep him? Why is he here? It's puzzling. It just makes no sense. And I'll put that on Ange.
I agree. Look, Nicholas bang on it. Not scoring a goal against Tamworth, who was 16th in the National League. I agree. He won't, though. There'll be excuses. And Sam Smith, I swear, he did not say this, did he? Please, can you? I know you, because he did it. He can't have. If he did, get him gone. Get him gone if he says this. Ange Postecoglou on the win against Tamworth couldn't be more proud of the boys. Back-to-back wins, back-to-back clean sheets. The lads did a good shift. He didn't say this. And I know you Sam Smith likes sending in the fake quotes. But if he did say it, get him gone. That's mental. He's motivated at halftime. Do you know what? That was the bit, right? At halftime, you go, hang on a minute, it isn't working. Halftime, you should be in there going, boys, they're 45 minutes from doing the unthinkable here. You are of a Premier League side. You are the side that are in the Europa League, playing in teams all across Europe. You boys are the ones that need to wake up here. But they came out and it was the same in the first half. Do you know what? It only changed for me when he at 90 minutes when he brought on the likes of Kulizeski. He brought on who else did he bring on? He brought on Jed Spence and someone else. Huh?
Was his son?
Oh, Son, yeah. Because Solanke was already on the pitch, weren't he? Because he came on in 90 minutes. Like, for me, I just think it's baffling, man. Like, I genuinely find it baffling. By the way, Heung-min Son came on and did nothing, by the way. The most Heung-min Son did when coming on in added time was yell at a cameraman. What's that about? I mean, did anyone see that?
Yeah, it did.
I mean, that was all I saw from Son. I mean, Son is concerning me on it. Like, it's now becoming really, really embarrassing now. I'm really worried about him in the sense of quality not there at all.
Yeah, I've defended. I don't want to say defended. I've said to Son that I still thought Son for most of the season has been our best attacker, which is a low bar. But it's not been the case for the last 2 months for sure. He was okay early on, not good, not close to his level, not close to good enough. But because of the low level of our attackers we had, I kind of would say, hey, Son's not good enough, but he's the best we have. But now it's hard to even say that he's the best that we have because he has been absolutely invisible. And I don't know. I think it's not just him getting older. I think the system doesn't work for him. I think he's getting frustrated with himself. And I think that is that talking about Son or
Yeah. No, I was on the phone. Me and the missus were on the phone, and she goes, "God, have you seen what Sunday?" Because she was a little bit ahead of me. She was on the live feed. I've got it on my Fire Stick. So she was, and I went, "I haven't seen it yet. Give us a minute." Came in, and I went, "What? The fact he was yelling at a camera?" She went, "Yeah, proper diva behaviour." Big up, Suze. So true. Big up. Oh, don't. It was so funny. Oh, man.
Is it just me, or I kind of wonder what Ange does right now? On the sidelines, he never really managed. And what we heard, he doesn't even coach on the training pitch. Because from my experience, sorry about the background noise. From my own experience, I'm more of a manager than a coach. I don't like to do stuff off the training pitch, but when they play games and stuff, then that's when I'm going really, really hard. And I feel like Ange does nothing.
Yeah, I don't look. What does Ange do from here is the question. Look, let's be fair. If he goes and beats Arsenal at the Emirates on Wednesday night, then all will be forgiven, right? And you're starting to get a run of games, right? Do I think we're beating Arsenal? No, but Wednesday night now becomes because the thing is it goes both ways, right? A result like this can go both ways. If we get battered by Arsenal, then people will start grouping two results together, right? You go, oh, hang on a minute, we just about scraped through a non-league side in the FA Cup, and then got battered at the rivals. Then it starts switching. For me, if he goes and beats Arsenal, then people will go, well, hang on a minute, now he's beaten Liverpool, got a win against Tamworth, then beaten Arsenal. I don't know where we go with here, because look, you guys all know my opinion. I think we all agree on it. I don't want the manager here. I don't think he's good enough. I think there is clear reason to be. His job is becoming untenable. I mean, his job was untenable months ago for me. For me, I've just had enough of hearing the nonsense that this guy talks about. I think he talks really, really stupid. But look, I don't actually know where we go from here. Does that make sense? I don't actually know where we go from here. Because, look, if he can go and win 3 or 4 now on the bounce, that's what, 5 wins in a row? Okay. Will he do it? I don't know. I don't see us beating Arsenal. Anyone? Has anyone got any hope?
Oh, and I think that's today should have been such an easy game, and we're getting ready to go into Arsenal, and you're saying, okay, we just had that good result against Liverpool. We've kind of had a run around to get what we needed to set up for Arsenal. We're good. We're going in. We have something to kind of go on. But I feel like now it's, if you lose to Arsenal, any positive that you had from that Liverpool game has to be gone. Like, you can't, right? It's gone because of this result and that loss to Arsenal. And it's kind of, people have said it before. This is why when you losing to Arsenal this season shouldn't necessarily, I mean, losing to Arsenal always is awful, but they're a quality side. It's nothing wrong with that. But when you've already lost to Ipswich, when you lost to Crystal Palace, when you against Wolves, when you put in a performance like today, now that Arsenal game, if you have a bad result there, it's like you question, what's he doing? Like, I've been questioning and what he's doing since he came in here. You said other people have questioned after the end of last season. Some people have questioned him now, but the questions just keep mounting, and you start to say, how long can we just keep ignoring these terrible results?
I agree. As I said, this is a culmination for me. This is a culmination of bad results. This isn't one game, because this is unfortunately what gets spun, by the way, from people that really rate this manager. Oh, it's only one game. He won. Why are you crying? Why are you going on about it? It's like, hang on, this isn't one game of football. I haven't just decided I'm Ange out now because of this result. I wanted this manager gone a while ago. Like, I just find it absolutely baffling, by the way. Just fine.
Thanks for letting me on, Perchy. And
You gotta go.
see you around, buddy. I gotta go.
Take it easy, guys. Thanks for coming on. Make sure. See ya. We're only going to go for about 5 or so more minutes anyway, Scott, if that's cool with you. You cool with that?
Yeah, no, it's early morning here, so I got to, everyone in the house is still sleeping, so I can hop on big on before anyone gets up. So it's perfect timing for me.
Yeah, we'll wrap up in a couple of minutes. I've just seen the replay. Kulu celebrating like won the league. I'm just watching I've just seen the highlights of it now. He goes on and I think he kind of half celebrated. Like, he kind of naturally went to celebrate, then realized, hang on a minute.
Well, Cam's saying, like, he set up the goal. Like, come on. I love Sonny. He's great. We're not getting excited because he set up a goal in the 118th minute against Tamworth, are we? Is that what we're using to say now? We can get him, like,
mad.
Again, like you said, with the one-off games, it's puzzling to me. This isn't a one. It's not. If it was a one-off result, right? If we're fourth in the table, are top of the group in the Europa League. Sure, this result, you say, man, that sucks, but thank God we got through it. But we aren't. We're 12th in the league. We're not even in the top 8 of the Europa League.
It's mad, isn't
we'll
it?
Probably go through because I think
mental.
everybody. It's harder to not go through the Europa League in this stage at this point,
big up Suze, by the way. And I'm going to leave this with Scott M, because I like him to answer. Why is Levy so quick to get rid of Conte and Jose, but holding on to Ange? That's the genuine question. That is, I'm not going to say a word. I'm going to leave it with you.
I wish I had an. It is absolutely puzzling that we know every other manager would have got sacked under Levy because they've got sacked for doing far better than Ange has. Most of them would have never got the chance to get this low, but for whatever reason he holds on to Ange. I think I've said that there's two reasons. I think the number one reason is Ange doesn't complain. Ange is okay being if Conte and Jose were 12th in the league, they would be livid about it. That would not be good enough for them. They would be speaking out, they would be complaining, and they would be making noise about how we need to do things to change this around. Ange doesn't do that. It's no big deal for him to be 12th in the league. He's not embarrassed being 12th in the league. And I think that's number one reason. Levy doesn't have to hear the noise from people asking him. The other reason is, and I do think that it's a little bit different now. We are making so much revenue from our stadium that the money that you get, Levy, don't get me wrong, Levy still wants that Champions League money, but it's no longer vital to him. I
agree.
It's no longer vital like it was in the past.
It's not business critical anymore.
Yeah, he still wants it, but he's not going to go crazy. He's not going to go spend a ton of money that would need to bring in the players needed to get Champions League. So he's okay letting it go this way because the fans are still happy in the stands. The fans are singing Ange Postecoglou while we're losing 5-1, buying beers, buying merchandise, filling that stadium up. It's not the same financial issues he has.
I know what Daniel Levy would have been pissed off about today. Do you know what he'd been pissed off about?
That we didn't have a return leg back in
they got rid of the replays in the third round now. He must have been sat there at 0-0 going, fuck, why didn't it just stay at 0-0 and then go to a replay? Because I could have sold the freaking tickets in the other place.
Exactly, yeah.
That I genuinely think he must be sat there going, I hope it's a draw. We get a replay and we can start selling some tickets.
Look, but honestly, I don't know. It's a great question by Susie. So
it's a very, very good question.
Still here? It is nothing like we've seen in the past. And the other part I'll say about that is if you back Jose, if you back Conte, you can understand why. Those guys are winners. Why are you backing Ange? There's nothing about Ange that you should be backing him. There's nothing. But that's where we are.
Thing is,
madness.
I don't even find when people go I just don't want to sack a new manager. Okay, basically you're just saying I think the manager's shit, but I don't want to go through the rigmarole of doing it. So even people that sit there and say those sort of things don't rate him.
No, and I agree with those people. Let's not keep sacking managers, but let's hire a quality manager and then stick with them.
Yeah,
right. That's what that really should mean. Is we don't want to just keep sacking managers like Poch and Jose and Conte, who are quality managers. That doesn't mean let's just keep a terrible manager.
Yeah,
the solution to their problem is hire a quality manager and go with him. So sack Ange, get a manager that should be here for 4 years, a quality manager, and stick with them. But
mate,
you're right.
Absolutely,
they don't rate him.
Absolutely bang on it. I'm gonna wrap it up there because I'm gonna put my feet up now for the evening. I'm assuming you're going to work now.
No, Sunday. I don't work on Sunday.
Oh, is it Sunday? Sorry. Oh, yes. Obviously, it is Sunday. I wasn't sure.
I'm like 7 hours. I don't know if you're
behind.
Are you still in Spain or are you over to
I'm
London
still in
now?
Spain at the moment. Yeah, so
7 hours behind England. So.
Oh yeah, you've just woken up, haven't you? Sorry, yeah.
9 in the morning. Yeah.
Oh, big up James Flowers. How you doing, my friend? Big up to you, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up. Make sure if you're watching on playback and you've got back here, make sure you leave a comment and stuff. Get involved in the channel. There's gonna be a few bits and bobs coming in the next few days. The FM streams are still going on. FM videos are still going on. So make sure that. Thanks, Scott, for coming on. Thanks for Katie. He came on earlier as well. We'll leave it there. Let's catch up, and hopefully on Wednesday we can get a result against Arsenal. What's your prediction? I'll give you ask that one before you go.
My prediction is 2-1. I don't think it'll
2-1 Arsenal. I'm assuming 2-1.
I think I don't think it'll be very high scoring. Could be even lower. I think Arsenal, like we saw last time they played us, they're not worried about putting on a show. They don't need to entertain. They want to get the win. I think they'll play. We'll see them play a smart way. They'll get up 2-1 and they'll see out the game.
I think it could be something like that, 2-1. I think we might maybe nick a draw, maybe. if I'm being a bit optimistic. But yeah, 2-1, 1-0 sort of. I think it will be one of those sort of games. Yeah, anyway, let me know in the chat, guys. Let me know in the comments as well what you think the score will be. We'll do something for the North London derby coming up in the next few days. Look, thanks for coming on, my friend. Guys in the chat, I've redirected you to go to Deji Spurs. So go over there and put Perchy Spam in there, Perchy Raid. So just go and support all the Spurs YouTubers, guys. Look, thanks very much for coming. Take it easy. Enjoy your Sunday. Do not let this bother you. It's just football, right? And Spurs are in the next round. Woohoo! Woohoo! We're beating that supersonic Tamworth team. Peace out, guys. Take care. Stay safe. As always, Levy out, Ange out, and Tottenham out. Let's go with it. See you later.